Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Code Circuit. I guess I'm audible. Let me just go live myself to verify once. नहीं है नहीं है प्राइवेट होगा रे या okay. Sorry for the delay guys. Everyone welcome to our channel Code Circuit. So this will be a live session on Java, the continuation of the previous week where we were learning looping statements. Okay. So in the last session, the last live session last Saturday, we learned about the two loops, that is the while and the second was the do while, and we had also discussed about the differences between the two, right. So in the while loop, let me just go ahead and tell you the syntax again. We can go and learn the others. Today's agenda will be the for loop and the continuation. Okay. So just a recap guys, if you have not watched the earlier video where we have discussed the advanced switch case in Java, and at the same time we have discussed about the yield keyword, and then we have gone on to discuss about the differences between while and do while. We have done that already. So if you have not watched that, make sure you go and watch that. Okay. So let me just tell you the difference. While is also known as the entry control loop, and do while is actually known as the exit control loop. Okay. This is the most important difference between the two, and at the same time I have also told you one more thing. In while loop, if the condition is false, it will not even enter that loop. Okay. But in case of the do while loop, even if the condition is false, it will at least execute once the statements given in the block. After that it will check the condition. Okay. So if true, then execute. I can give a comma. If true, then execute, comma, then check, then stop. In simple terms, you can say this. Okay. If the condition is true, then execute. Okay. And then enter the loop. Then check the condition. If it is still true, keep on doing, or else stop. Something like this. Okay. But in case of do while, it is a little bit different. Execute once first, check if it's true, if not, stop. This is the criteria for the do while loop. Okay. So in case of do while, it will execute at least once. In case of while, it will not even execute if the condition is false. Okay. That is the most major difference between the while and the do while loops, and we have actually discussed them properly in the last live session. Okay. So now in today's session, we will be talking about another important looping statement, that is the for loop. Okay. So let me just move it here, and let's just try to learn about the for loop now. Okay. Guys, we have already discussed that looping statements are used to perform something that is actually repeated multiple number of times. Okay. When we are uncertain, we use the while loop or the do while loop. When we are certain, and to be frank or to be precise, if we know the number of steps, So, number of steps, if this is finite, that means it is known to you that, say suppose in your childhood your teacher will give you a punishment. Suppose you have not written your record book, or maybe you have not done your homework. He or she will tell you to repeat the same thing multiple number of times, say write it down 50 times, 100 times. So in that kind of cases, you know the number of steps, right? So what will you do? You will just use the for loop. N number of repetitions, I know the n, the step. That's why it is finite. In that kind of situations, we use the for loop. Make sense? So now let's do one thing. Let's talk about the syntax. Okay, the syntax is like this. For, let's take a different color. Yeah. Initialization, then we have the semicolon, and then we have our condition, then we have our increment or decrement. Then we have our curly braces, and then we have our statements to be executed. This is the syntax of the for loop. Okay. For initialization, okay, then we have the condition, and then we have the increment or the decrement operation, which is actually our terminating condition. This will actually terminate it, because if this, after incrementing or decrementing something, if we still not satisfy the condition, then what happens? It will go out of the looping statement. Okay. So it's easy to understand when we actually take an example for this. Okay. So for the time being, let me do one thing. Say suppose I want to print numbers 1 to 10. Okay. So I can simply write the same thing like this. For numbers, right? We are trying to print numbers. Int I is equal to 0, or I said 1 to 10, right? I equal to 1, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. What do you want to print? That same number only, right? This I variable, this variable is incrementing from 1 to 10, right? So I can just print I. Done. So in this case, if you see properly, yeah, let's take a different color. Fine, let's take yellow. Okay, now see this, guys. This here is actually your initialization. This is your condition, and this is your increment here. In another case, if I want to print the reverse order, then I can write like this. For I want to print now 10 to 1, 10 to 1, this is 1 to 10. I will write like this, int I equal to 10, I greater than equal to 1. See, from a larger number I am trying to come to a smaller number. I, now we are decrementing, so minus minus. I value only. Okay. If you want to check this, you can just check like this. Yeah. Let's take white. Then, yeah, see this. Initially it is 1. Let's talk about the I variable, okay, and the output. Initially the I variable is 1. So, when I print I, it will be 1. Then 2, 2, 3, 3. It will keep on going like this because I is less than equal to 10. Fine. 1 is less than equal to 10, 2 is less than equal to 10. It will keep on going, but we come to 10. 10 is also less than or equal to 10 because 10 is equal to 10. We will print the 10 value also. Fine. Now, after that, I becomes 11. Now, if you check this condition, 11 is not less than equal to 10. It has to stop. Okay. After we are incrementing the value of I by one more value, 11, then this condition is false, and that time the for loop will stop. I hope this is clear now. Okay. That is why this part is the initialization part, and guys, please remember this I here is actually called the loop variable, or sometimes it is called the iteration variable, because this is actually a iteration. Okay. When we print the value of I, that is one iteration. This word is very important sometimes. Iteration, step, you can say number of passes. This kind of words you will be using a lot when you are learning about DSA and other steps. Okay. So, iteration is the number of times a loop executes. Okay. Number of times something happens. So, in that case, here when I is 1, that is iteration number 1. When I is 2, it is iteration number 2. Okay. Similarly, I becomes 11. At the iteration number 11, what happens? 11 is not less than equal to 10. This becomes false. So, it will stop. Similarly, when you are talking about this one, here, this is your initialization. This is your condition. This is your increment or decrement. Here we are doing decrement, right? This is the decrement operation. So, here it will be like 10, 9, 8, 7, keep on going till 1. 1 is greater than equal to 1. You understood now why I have written greater than equal to. If I write less than equal to, 10 less than equal to, if I say 1, what happens? 10 is not less than 1, 10 is not equal to 1. So, ultimately this will become false. So, it will not execute at all, correct. So, it will just print 10 and it will come out. So, now when you are traversing in a forward direction, we should write less than equal to. When you are traversing in a backward direction, I mean ascending order traversal, we will write less than equal to. Descending order traversal, we will write greater than equal to, and sometimes there might be scenarios where you are changing this, but I hope you understood why I have written it like this. Clear? So, this is the basic syntax of the for loop. Please remember this. This will be very handy when you are actually going for interviews also, because many people still don't understand the real meaning of this. Initialization, condition, increment or decrement, and then the terminate. It will terminate when this condition is false. Okay. And then the statements to be executed. Whatever you want to execute, any condition, any operation, any expression, that can be put inside this curly brackets. That is a particular block. Make sense? Just a moment. Okay. Now, let us do one thing, guys. As we have learnt about the syntax properly, let us take examples to understand better about this. Fine. And at the same time, guys, I just want to request you, if you are really liking the content, I hope you guys are liking the content. If you want anything else, anything advanced, you can tell us. But like, we are trying to go in a sync. If you want something extra, then you can tell, we can come live on other days also. And in order to motivate us, You guys can do one thing. You guys can subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, like and share our videos with everyone who is trying to learn Java, or maybe Ashank sir is also coming up with his C++ tutorials. Please like and share so that we can reach out to more people who are actually trying to learn this. And at the same time, I want to discuss about something very important. Just today, I went to have a cup of tea and I got a very bad or sad information. It was a really sad information. The information is something like this. We will come up with this topic again in future, but right now I am really sad about one very important thing. Whenever I go to a college for placement drives, I always get a question from the students, how much of DSA is important for placements? Okay, but I am really sad that even before learning DSA, why are the students not trying to learn the basic concepts? That is my concern actually. See, I am telling you, many companies, recently Oracle has come to a college, and also Amazon has come to a college, and also there are other companies which don't need a mention, they always come to the colleges, TCS, Accenture. Okay, there are companies like Oracle, Amazon, TCS, Accenture, which actually come to various colleges. There are top colleges in Bangalore I am talking about, because right now we are located in Bangalore. So I am just talking about this thing. Please make a note of this, okay. They come to RNSIT, they come to JSS, they come to SJBIT, they come to the Anand Sagar. There are lots of colleges where they come. And do you think they ask DSA questions? Absolutely not. They were asking question on Java. And you people, most of the students hate Java. The problem is the college actually. They teach you only 12 programs which are actually based in the lab. And that's why people don't know anything about Java. Why this thing is happening? You people are stuck with C++. You think C++ will get you jobs? That is not getting you jobs. Just get into the industry by learning all the core concepts of Python, Java, C, C++, because right now the industry is demanding you to know all the differences. If you don't know the difference, then how will you analyze which programming language to use when? That's the very important thing that you have to know. I am really sad that the colleges are not doing this in their academics. They are just stuck with this language and they are trying to think that they can oversmart or outthink the interviewers. It's not possible. The interviewer always knows more than you. You cannot outthink or outsmart them. So please make sure you learn from scratch all the languages. Then to master any one language, just go on with DSA. This is what I am trying to tell for a long time now. We have taken interviews for many companies, and we also expect the same thing from all the colleges, but I don't know, they don't listen to us. That's the main thing. And because of that, the students are losing jobs. The simple, I am telling stupid, the stupid curriculum made by the colleges is very hilarious. Focus on what is actually done in the IT industry, not something that will fetch marks in the examinations. Examination marks is just for one thing, your CGPA. That is important. I am not telling this is not important. At the same time, you have to think about your job, your career. Just getting some 70-80% marks will not fetch you a job. Understanding the concept will fetch you a job. That is what I am trying to tell. Okay. So too much of lecture is not good. So let's go ahead and again start on with our thing. Fine. As I was telling, guys, I will do one thing. Not possible next Saturday, but any day I will take up a session at least of 1 hour discussing what and all things are actually required for placements. Because trust me on this, we learn so many things in our engineering that is not at all needed in the career. There are almost, if I say 7 subjects in one semester, 7 into 8 semesters, 56 subjects, plus say we have 2 labs in every semester. So 56 and again 8, 16. So those many subjects and those many labs. So almost it is 72 subjects combined together, including labs. All the subjects that we are learning in our engineering, any engineering college I am talking about, okay, the universities, the schedules, the syllabus that they make is really hilarious. That is not going to make you a good IT engineer. That is just going to fetch you some marks, that's all. I have faced a lot of students who say the same thing. Sir, we don't know anything what is going on in the IT industry. So hands-on practice is very important. Not 12 lab programs will not help you to fetch a job. I'm telling you this. Please make sure you learn, you try to understand, and if you have any unnecessary information in your mind, please unlearn that as well. Okay, that is what I want to say here. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's go back to our editor and try to understand the meaning of our for loop syntax. Okay, fine. This was what we discussed last class. Now let's do one thing. I will create a new Java class called for loop. Okay, in this, let me give you an example. Main. So as I said, let me print from 1 to 10. So for, I said initialization, let me zoom in a little bit so that you can visualize it properly. Int I equal to 1, I less than equal to 10 you can write, or you can write I less than 11, that is also correct. Okay, I plus plus. The condition depends on you, what kind of condition you want to set, that depends on you. Here I am just saying s out I, the I variable. Okay, and now all the data will be in different lines. Fine. See this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 all are in different lines. If I want them together, then we have a very special feature in Java, this one. We just remove the ln. This thing, the print statement, keeps every data in the same line. But it will look awkward because there will be no space in between. If you see carefully, see, it looks like a number, but actually it is not a number. These are the numbers but without the space. If you want a space, you can just give a space like this. You can say plus and give a space like this inside double quotes and like this. Okay, this is called concatenation. We will talk about this when you are learning about strings. Don't have to worry right now. Just think that I want to add a space after each number. So 1 space 2 space 3 space 4 and like on. Okay, so if I run this now, see, this looks a bit better. Fine. Now let's do the reverse one. So here I will write a comment, printing 1 to 10. So I will copy the same thing because I want to print from 10 to 1. I will say 10 to 1, and here I will say I equal to 10, I greater than equal to 1, I minus minus, and print the I and the space. But if you see here, see, 1 to 10, again 10 to 1, but I don't want them in the same line. Here I want to give a gap. Okay, I want to go to the next line now. So what I can do, I can simply go ahead and do this. Before this statement even starts, I will just say ln. Okay, that means I am giving a empty print statement that will take the control to the next line, and after that we will start it. Fine, let's run this now. See, 1 to 10 and then 10 to 1. Make sense? So this is how the for loop works, guys. Let's do one thing to get a better idea of the same thing. Let me do one thing. I'll take a screenshot of this thing and we'll understand this in the paint screen. Okay, let me go to paint, paste this here. Okay, and as I told you, this part, let me take a different color, say red. Okay, this part is, sorry, okay, this part This part is called your initialization. Fine. This part is called your condition. This is your increment or decrement. So, in this case it is the increment, and in this case this is the decrement. Makes sense? This is how your looping statements work. Get it? Okay. Now say suppose I want to print the even and odd numbers between 1 to 10. Okay. Let's try to do it. So I'll go back to my editor and let me delete all these things, or let me just comment it. Okay. And here I'll just say for int I equal to 0, 1, 1 to say 20, I less than equal to 20, I plus plus. I want to print the odd and the even numbers between 1 to 10 and 1 to 20. Okay. So we have to write a if condition. Okay. What is the definition of an even number? See, many people will say that when a number is divisible by 2, it is an even number. But in case of coding, you have to understand like this. Say I have 4, I am dividing this by 2. So 2 2s are 4 and the remainder is 0. So the proper definition, if you want to talk in terms of coding or programming, will be when we divide a number by 2 and the remainder is 0, it is called an even number. Similarly, when we divide a number by 2 and we are getting anything other than 0, obviously it will be either 0 or 1. When we get 0, it is actually a even number. When we get anything else, when we get 1, it is an odd number. Make sense? That is how it actually works. Got it? So in that case, I can again repeat the same thing. When we divide a number by 2 and we get remainder as 0, this is even. When we divide a number by 2, 2 2s are 4 and we get 1, this is an odd number. So when a number is completely divisible by 2, then we get a even number. When we don't divide, then it is called an odd number. Okay. So I can simply write like this. If I is our loop variable, as I had told you guys, I can write that down here. This I here, this is called the loop variable. So number of times I loops is called the iteration. Number of iterations, here it will be 1 to 10, that is 10 iterations, 10 steps, 10 passes. That is how we talk about it. Okay. So if at all in my future classes I say iteration, that you will know that it is looping through this statement once. So n number of iterations, it is iterating n number of times, steps, passes, like that. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Yeah, I got a question from someone XYZ saying that, sir, should we work on projects for placements? That is absolutely correct. Absolutely, you should be working on projects. It's highly important. And so XYZ, I don't know whether it's a girl or a boy, whoever it is, I will consider them as a student. So I just want to tell you one thing. Your projects that you do should not be copy pasted from some institute. You should be building something from scratch. See, no matter it takes you 2 months, 3 months to build that, when you are actually building that from scratch on your own, just by taking help from Google or maybe ChatGPT or something, but try to make it on your own all the time. Okay. Then what happens when you do something from scratch? Say suppose I am building my own home from scratch, I will know the in and out of everything. So that actually makes you a more good programmer or a good developer. So the interviewer will be asking you questions on the project. It will be something like this. I will tell you. Why did you write this line? Why did you implement this algorithm? Why do you use this programming language? When you are able to explain those kind of things to the interviewer face to face while you were actually attending the interview, that actually creates a very good what to say, impression on that person. Okay, so that is actually very mandatory and it comes very handy when you are actually attending placement drives. See, right now the interviewers are actually trying to find someone who knows the basics from scratch. Nobody is going to teach you all those in the companies. They want someone who is readily available and knows the basic concepts, so that when you are learning or going or entering into some projects for the companies, then they don't have to think that this guy does not know any basic. They will think that okay, I just have to tell them about the project and they can just start. They will give you a training not on the basic programming language, they will give you a training on the modules, the libraries that we have and the frameworks. They will not tell you to write down hash include and all. They hope you know everything. In Java, they will not tell you what is public static void main. Those things are not taught right now in the industries. They need you to be very good with the basics and the syntax. You have to have a command on the basics of the programming language. Basics in the sense, I need to talk about the looping statements, the conditional statements, functions, object oriented programming, exception handling and file handling. Those things if you know, then you are ready for the next step. That is what the interviewers are actually searching right now in all the candidates that they are hiring. Okay, that is why you are seeing Accenture, TCS, Capgemini and lots of IT companies actually firing candidates from their offices because of lack of knowledge. That is what I am trying to say here. Okay, can you make video on project ideas for further implementation? Definitely it can be done. Thank you for your suggestion. We'll definitely do it, XYZ. Definitely we will give sessions on project ideas. Okay, thank you for the suggestion. We'll look into it very soon. Okay, and at the same time, the projects that you make, even if it is a very small project, try to build it on from scratch yourself. Don't take help. Maybe I love lots of errors in my code. I love debugging. You should also love debugging. When you love debugging, you love the code, you love the language. Okay, that is how we learn actually. Nobody becomes a good developer in one day. Just remember that. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, any questions? Yeah, play with physics. So great job. Thanks. Guys, my motto is only one thing, to get you placements, and that's why we are coming live with lots of informative topics, and we will be coming. If I have one subscriber, one viewer also, I'll come live and talk the same thing. If I have 1,000 subscribers also, I will come and talk about the same thing. Right now we have a family of 48k members. I will not stop if I have one subscriber also. I will not stop if I have 1 million subscribers also. I will do the same thing, same way every single Saturday. That's my duty. I will keep doing that. I don't bother what your college is teaching you. I don't bother what your placement training is teaching you. I will focus on getting you a job. That is my promise. And I just want your support. That's all. Okay. So as I talked about this, let's do one thing. So now I think you have got an idea of this, right? So as I said, we were talking about the looping statements and we are talking about how to print the even numbers and the odd numbers between 1 to 20. Okay. So as I said, when a number is completely divisible by 2 with a 0 remainder, it is called an even number. Okay. If I modulus of 2, modulus operator gives you the remainder, right, equal to 0, we cannot use an assignment operator here. We have to use a comparison operator here. Okay, we have talked about operators very well, bitwise, everything we have talked about. Okay, so now let's do one thing. When this is completely divisible by 2, it is an even number. So I'll just say S out. I is, I'll concatenate and say is, or yeah, is even. Else I will say S out, I plus is odd. Okay, now let's run this and see what we get. See guys, 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even. I am just giving you simple examples so that you can get hands-on idea of how actually the code works. Then we can gradually go on to do lots of different things. Make sense? So we'll be doing that. Don't worry about that. So now the thing is, right now we are talking about even and odd numbers. We can keep talking about very some other things also. Say suppose I have numbers from 1 to 100 and I am trying to find out the numbers which are divisible by 17. Randomly someone can ask you something, okay? Same thing, you will just have to write 17 here, then you will say is divisible, not divisible. Someone XYZ is telling, sir, and also make a material so at least it will be helpful for revision. XYZ, I just want to tell you one thing. I will definitely make a proper PDF format notes for you guys for your reference. Okay, definitely that will be done. Okay, we will make a proper PDF with all the notes. So okay, so fine, we will definitely make a PDF on that. लेकिन हमें भी मोटिवेशन चाहिए होता है. वी ऑल्सो नीड मोटिवेशन. नहीं, आप लोग अपने दोस्तों को भी लेके आओ. हम लोग यहाँ पे पैसा नहीं मांग रहे हैं आपसे. हम लोग लाइव पढ़ा रहे हैं. भीड़ जहाँ होती है अच्छा लगता है पढ़ाने में. लॉट्स ऑफ डाउट्स आने चाहिए. हज़ारों डाउट्स आने चाहिए. आपको क्या डाउट है पूछो. जावा से रिलेटेड, सी प्लस प्लस से रिलेटेड अशांक सर क्लास लेके आते हैं. ही विल टेक ए क्लास इन द इवनिंग. सो एनी डाउट प्लीज़ मेक श्योर यू आस्क देम. एक डाउट तब तक सिली होता है जब तक पूछा नहीं जाता. एज सुन एज यू आस्क इट यू गेट द आंसर. इट्स नॉट सिली एट ऑल. बी रॉन्ग इन द क्लास, डोंट बी रॉन्ग इन द इंटरव्यू, बिकॉज दैट विल डिस्ट्रॉय योर कैरियर. या तो आप सिलेक्ट हो जाओगे या तो आप रिजेक्ट हो जाओगे. ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाट आई वांट टू से हियर. फाइन. So here as I said, I am taking a number and trying to decide if it is divisible by 17 or not. Okay, so that's it. Let me run this. Now whole 17 table will come. See, these are not divisible. The first number that is divisible by 17 is 17 itself. So 17 is divisible by 17, and after that you can see 34 will be the second number. If you see here, see 34, 17 3s are 51. मैथ्स याद रखना है आपको, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. 17 3s are 51, 17 4s कितना है 68. 51 इज डिविजिबल, 17 4s are 68. देखो ये आ गया 68 is divisible, 17 5s are 85. थोड़ा सा मैथ्स भी जानना ज़रूरी है. यू ऑल गाइज हैव टू लर्न दिस. 85. ओके, सो दैट इज हाउ यू लर्न समथिंग. बिकॉज if you don't know maths you will not get interest in coding, because logic building mein in that part you have to always use mathematics only. Whenever you were trying to solve some numerical algorithms, there are lots of algorithms in trees and graphs and all. So in that you need lots of maths. Okay, yeah. XYZ says thank you sir. You are welcome and it's my pleasure to solve your queries. आपको जो भी doubts है queries आते हैं guys. At the same time आपसे request है, इफ़ यू लाइक द कंटेंट दैट यू आर ब्रिंगिंग, मैं रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ फिर से, प्लीज़ मेक श्योर यू सब्सक्राइब टू अवर चैनल. 48,000 पे अटक गया है, 50,000 होना है. जल्दी से सब्सक्राइब करो, लाइक करो, शेयर करो, अपने दोस्तों को भी बोलो. देन ओनली इट विल बी फीजिबल बोथ वेज. हमें क्या चाहिए, सब्सक्राइबर्स चाहिए, ताकि हम लोग और अच्छा कंटेंट ले आ पाए आपके लिए. ओके, दैट इज़ व्हाट वी आर वांटिंग हियर. फाइन. So we got this, and let's do one more thing. So I hope you understood this about the for loop. Now we can do one thing. We can try a pattern. Okay, we will try to do a pattern. Let me just confirm. और 15-20 मिनट ले सकते हैं ना. Guys, let's do one thing. Let us try to solve a very interesting pattern जो TCS और Accenture में पूछा जाता है, बहुत ही बार पूछा जाता है. Okay? And most of the times when you talk about patterns, what happens, people get scared actually. Most of the times TCS is a company that keeps coming to colleges for bulk hiring. Similar company is Accenture, bulk hiring, and one more is Capgemini. Capgemini is also one company. These three companies come for bulk hiring. Okay, so from the last 7 to 8 years, one question has been very popular. Okay, with that we will be talking about one more thing. This is the question. Okay, let's do one thing. I think this part of the screen is not visible because of my laptop maybe. So we'll do one thing. Let me write down this question here. It is a pattern problem. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, and one more 7. Fine. And here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So here, just let me, before drawing the pattern, let me just tell you where this pattern is asked. TCS has 3 companies. You have TCS NQT, TCS Ninja, and TCS Basic. The package here is less, it's around 3.5. Here it is 4.5, here it is 5.5. Okay, 3.5 to 4, 4.5 to 5, 5.5 to 6. This is the package, and based on the package, the time given is very less in this coding question. Okay, this can be the first coding question out of 2, or this can be only one coding question. So if it is a one coding question, the time will be very less, guys. Please remember this. Here it is 5 minutes, it is 4 minutes, and this is 3 minutes. So in this scenario, you have to be very fast while writing this or solving this. Fine. So let's talk about this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What pattern is this, guys? It's the hard pattern. I hope in your engineering you have solved a lot of patterns. Can you solve this pattern in 3 minutes to get 5.5 to 6 LPA package? That's the question. Think about it. Take a pause and think about it. After that, I will tell you a very important cheat code or logic which will help you to solve any kind of pattern in the world without any hesitation. Just you have to remember one simple trick. You can get lot of videos in YouTube based on patterns, but they will not tell you the trick. Today I will tell you a very important trick that will actually help you to solve any pattern in this world, just like this. ये मेरा challenge है आपसे, ठीक है? So just think like this. Let's talk about the rows and the columns. Here I have 0, 1, 2, 6 rows, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. Fine. So whenever you are trying to solve any pattern programs, just remember one thing. And guys, Accenture and Capgemini also ask the same thing. The package may vary. This can be 4 LPA, this can be 5 LPA. Okay. And bulk hiring, this kind of timings are given to actually do the screening. Who has more command over the language or who has more logic building capacities. Based on that only they hire them. Okay. Fine. So how will you do this? I have 7 columns and 6 rows. Okay. Please remember this trick when you are trying to solve any pattern programs. Any pattern program you can use that logic. Okay. The logic is break into parts. Fine. So let me say this is my part 1, this is my part 2, this is my part 3, and this is my part 4. See, for my solution I am taking this as a part. You can take anything as a part, that's your choice. But you should be able to figure out how to take this part. Okay, there should be some common criteria or common properties for the parts so that you can merge them into that condition, correct? So for the first part, part 1, just see this. I have the row equal to 0, make sense? And the column numbers are 1, if you see 1, 2, 4 and 5, correct? Is there any similarity between these 4 numbers 1, 2, 4 and 5? If you are good at mathematics, you will easily say that these 4 numbers are not divisible by 3, correct? So I can say for the first part, part 1, row equal to 0 and column modulus of 3 not equal to 0, correct? This can be the condition. So let me move it a little bit up because I just want you to focus on the question, that's all. Fine. So row equal to 0 and column modulus of 3 is not equal to 0. Fine. The second one, row equal to 1, and if you see for the part 2, row is 1, column values are 0, 3, 6, 0, 3, let me take this 0, 3 and 6, correct? So now just see, 0 is divisible by 3, 3 is divisible by 3, 6 is divisible by 3. So for the first part what we had, this is the exact reciprocal, the ulta. Okay. So here I can say and column modulus of 3 equal to 0. They are numbers divisible by 3. Got it? So we got 2 parts. The third part, tell me the row and the column values, or let me write down here this side. Let's not write here. 1, 2, 3. The third part, row and the column values. Row values are 2, 3, 4 and 5. See, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The column values are 0, 1, 2 and 3. Correct? Just subtract them. What is the common number that you are getting? 2 minus 0, this is 0, okay. This is 2. Beg your pardon, sorry for this. Okay, 2 minus 0 is 2. This is also 2. This is also 2. This is also 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. Let me write it again. Row and column values, it is 2, 3, 4 and 5. It is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So 2 minus 0, 3 minus 1, 4 minus 2, 5 minus 3. All are 2, 2, 2 and 2. So I can write row minus column is equal to 2. Correct? We got one more. And the fourth one, row column values. Row is, you can see this is 2, this is 3 and this is 4. These are the row values, 2, 3 and 4. Column values are 6, 5 and 4. 6, 5, 4. Plus, 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 8, 8, 8. So I can write row plus column equal 8. So ultimately we have covered up the whole diagram. So now what can you say? You can simply say that in all these conditions 1, 2, 3 and 4 will print a star, because star is given in the question, or else we can print a dot, we can print a hashtag, we can print whatever is given in the question, correct? Otherwise, what will you print? We will print a empty space like this, correct? So, let us do one thing. Let us try to write down this in the code, okay? I will do a thing. I will go to my, if you want, you can just take a screenshot of this, or you can pause the video when we go actually give the recording in the channel. Then you can pause this, or you can take a screenshot of this as well, okay? So, I hope you have understood the logic, how to do it, okay? Break it down into parts and then try to find out the similarity between the parts, if there is anything. Then it will be very easy. If you look at the whole diagram, you will never be able to solve it, okay? So, now let me go back to my editor IntelliJ and try to do this. Yeah, so let me create a new Java class called heart pattern. Okay, and here main, just remember rows, the rows were 6, the columns were how much? 7, fine. So, for int I equal to 0, guys, this is like a matrix, the diagram was like a matrix, right? So, I have to take a nested for loop, that is why I took that question, okay, a loop inside a loop. One will go for the rows, one will go for the columns. I equal to 0, I less than how much? How many rows? 0 to 5, 6 rows, okay, I plus plus. Similarly for int, so let me write r, and let me write r here so that it is very easy to understand that r is going to the rows. C equal to 0, C less than 7, 0 to 6, 7 rows, C plus plus, 7 columns, okay. So, this is your rows, guys, and this is your columns, fine. What was the first condition that we had? I will combine all the conditions in one line. For the first one, it was if our row equal to 0 and column modulus of 3 was not divisible by 3. This was the first condition. Let us see how to combine them. I will write a OR operator, and then I will say row equal to 1, and then column modulus of 3 is equal to 0. The second row was divisible by 3, right? Or the third one was row minus column was equal to 2, or the fourth one was row plus column was equal to how much? 8. Correct? In all the situations, what were you printing? You were printing a star, correct? So, let me write like this, S out a star. Otherwise, in the else block, else, what were you printing? You were printing an empty space, right? Like this, correct? Let us run this. This will not give you the output. Everything will be in different lines. See, all the stars here are in different lines. That is not our criteria. We wanted a heart pattern, correct? So, what you do? I already told you that if you want to print everything in a same line, just print a ln like this. Remove the ln and write the print statement. Run this now. Now the problem is everything will be in the same line. See? Got it? Let me check if the conditions are true. Equal to 0, column modulus 3 is not equal to 3 is wrong, guys. I have made a mistake. This is 0. Okay. Let me run this again. Still, all the data will be in the same line. This is what I don't need. I don't need this like this. I wanted to go to the next line for the next row, right? After printing this 4, I want this to come in the next line, then this to come in the next line, like this. So, what can I do? I can simply write like this. See, when we are printing this, this is for the inner loop where it is the row. After this for loop, I can write ln so that it goes to the next row. See this. Now, we have actually got a heart, but it is flattened like this. This is not the exact output that we are looking for. What can we do? We can modify this by using some spaces. 1, 2. 1, 2. See, now guys, we will be getting the heart that we are actually expecting. Yes, see this. This is the expected output that was required. Okay, I hope now you have understood this. Clear? So this question has been asked many a times in TCS and Accenture placement drives, and many students have not been able to solve this because they look at the whole diagram, not at part by part of the code. Okay, so this is how you can solve it in a very less time. So guys, this is it about this live session today. We'll be talking about nested for loops better in the next session. I hope you like this. If you really like this, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. That is really important. I am really sad that you guys are not subscribing. Many of our viewers are actually not subscribed. The audience is not subscribed. They just come, watch and go away. This is not good. We want people to stay along, and if you want anything special or particular, please tell us. We'll try to bring that. Okay, just like in the live video, you people have told me to bring dedicated ideas of projects. We'll do that. Okay, at the same time, if you want notes, we are actually preparing notes for you guys only. Okay, so a request one more time, please subscribe to our channel and bring your friends together. We'll learn everything together. We'll try to crack interviews together. Okay, and we'll have sessions where we'll solve lead code problems, hacker rank problems, and so on. Okay, so till the next time, this is Saurabh signing off. Bye bye and happy learning.